Docs interface. My name is Justin. I'm a master ClickUp consultant. I've been doing this for a couple of years. I'm going to walk you through what the changes are and what you need to kind of think about, what you need to not worry about. So if we go into our Docs section here and go to all, we'll see we've got a new interface here. Now the main thing is that our docs are just listed out. So if we go up to the top, we can go back to our old interface where we saw them as kind of individual tiles. So new interface, looks good. I actually prefer this. It's much more compact. You can see where they're located, tags, updated and viewed, all kind of nice and cleanly, and also how they're shared. So if we click on the sharing button there, the new sharing modal pops up. We've also got settings for each one, just our regular document settings. If I go into a doc here, we'll also see there's a new interface for how the doc shows up. The main thing here is this right-hand sidebar. So we still have pages. We can still add new pages here, add pages within pages, all that stuff we're used to. In terms of text, there's a slightly different hover menu, but it's basically the same. Same options there. Things have been organized slightly differently. We've got the drop down for the different types now of checklists. So we've got bulleted, numbered. Also, if you're familiar with the checkbox checklist type, we've also got the toggle list, which was not there before, but it was available on /command before. Okay, big thing though is that we can now open the right-hand sidebar. So the right-hand sidebar has a whole bunch of extra options. It's going to make the page go full width, or we can access each of those options through its own little button here if we don't want to actually expand the sidebar. But for now, I'll expand it. And so the big thing here is that we can change quickly how this page looks. We've got some really easy access formatting options. So under basic, we can switch between basic and advanced, and it will change this top section here. So we can change the font, serif, sans serif, mono, and the font size, just to really quickly change how our page looks. We can also go full width if we want that wider text. Usually default is good for people's reading speed. It's nicer to have a thinner page that we can very quickly skim. And then you can apply that typography to all pages quickly with a button there. Now these on-off buttons, they actually manage what you see on this page. So for example, we could have a cover image up the top, and we could choose from some colors, some images, or we could upload our own, link to one that's already on the internet, or pull a free one from Unsplash. So for example, maybe I want mountains up the top, theoretically, there we go. Or we could turn that off if you don't want it. Same thing with the page title, which also goes with the icon. So if I go add icon up here, we can pick an emoji once they load in, and we can have that above there. Personally, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm going to remove that one. Or you can turn that page icon off altogether over here. We've also got a subtitle, again optional. Author, you can see who wrote this. I believe that will be who created it. So you can turn that on or off, or you can change who the author is. Same thing with contributors, so that's other people who have helped edit. And again, you can click on them and attribute them there. Date updated, by default that's on, but you can get rid of that. Particularly useful if you want to publish this so that maybe it's a customer-facing manual or updates, whatever you want. You might not want them to see how often you're updating it, so that could just be good to have off. We've also got a sticky table of contents. So if we grab some, actually you don't need to grab some text, we'll go / table of contents, and you've got the two options here. So you've got a regular table of contents, and then you've actually got the sticky one. Now I haven't run this before, so I want to see what the difference is. Okay, so it's what it does is it's putting it up in that top left there. So we need some headings to make this obvious. So it's not actually in the doc, it's kind of like a part of the UI. So once we turn this one into a heading 1, we'll make this one heading 2, and you can already see it's starting to pop up. And heading 3. So because they're progressively lower headings, they're embedded. And you can see here, it's got one in the top right as well. If I make this page really long, then you'll see it just kind of sticks with us. So it kind of stays in that top corner. I'm curious to see what this will do if we make this full width. Okay, so it pulls into a little drop down here instead. But particularly when the page is at the default width, it's just nice to have that constant sense of navigation of the page there as you scroll up and down. So that's cool, I like that a lot. Options to protect the page or the document, just so that it has to be unprotected before anyone can edit it. So again, really good if you have company SOPs, manuals, that sort of thing. And you can add a note here as to why it's protected or who they need to talk to unprotect it. And normally you only can unprotect it if you have certain permissions. Now that hasn't been made obvious here. You can see it's protected by me. I'm assuming that that means that the only person who can unprotect it have a certain level of permission, probably edit permission or higher. So this page is currently private. You can see it up the top here. This top bar has changed slightly. In particular, you've now got tags here. I'm going to change this to a shared doc just so that I can play around with who can unprotect it. Still got the sharing button there, but now you have easy access to page history. That was a feature a lot of people didn't realize existed before. You can actually go back in and see what's changed over time and recover old versions if something goes wrong. You can also expand or collapse it into the full page. I actually quite like this full page editor. I'm a fan of this. Okay, so now that it is shared with everyone, I want to test out. We go back into our protection settings. Okay, so now we've got doc permissions. Okay, so when we go to protect it this time, because it's now a public document, before it was just me, so I'm going to say, okay, this is an SOP, and it says who can unprotect that page. We now get that option. This is what I was expecting to see before. So these are the people who have edit permissions, and so they are the ones who can unprotect it. Looks like this is not currently editable, so people above edit have to have it. If I share this, instead of sharing it with everyone, I'm going to share it with just one person. So let's say I'm going to invite Clara to this one, and she can have comment-only permissions. So now when I go to protect this page, this one's the page, it doesn't give me the option to allow her to unprotect it. Okay, so it might just be that it's just whoever has edit permission. It's not looking super flexible around that. And again, you can do the same thing with protecting the entire document. Now, important point, these two are a Business Plus or above feature. So this is an enterprise account, which is why I'm able to use them. If you're just on business, you won't be able to use these two. We've also got stats here, which is really nice. I'm a big fan of this. I like to know what my word count is. And it's going to approximate the reading time as well based on that. You can also have this continue to show as you're typing here, which I assume will update every few seconds. And you can choose which one it shows you. It can either be this page or the entire document. So, nice little added extra. I particularly like to jump in and easily see word count. Focus mode is quite cool, particularly if you're a writer. So basically, by turning on focus mode block, whichever thing you're clicked on, it's going to show up in black. Everything else is grayed out. So it kind of won't pay attention to the other blocks. If you were to write paragraphs, I believe this would keep going. Can't be bothered in actually writing something here. So I'm just going to keep doing this. That's taking a while, so let's copy and paste. So as you continue a paragraph, it'll all be highlighted. It's not until you hit enter, like a line break, that you'll enter a new block. Okay, so really useful if you are using, doing a lot of writing. Okay, so that's all under our basic page details section. The next one is relationships and backlinks. So here you can link to other pages. So we can add a page link either to another doc or to a task. Let's link it to this task, and that's a page link. I believe we can currently only see that here, but if we go into that document, there should be a backlink to the doc. You can see it's in the relationships section here. And we've also got relationships up the top as well. Cool. That's separate from at mentioning a task, which will actually put it in line with the actual text, whereas this page link is separate. Backlinks counts the number of times that this doc was mentioned in tasks, same as we did here. So if I go to this task and go into the description and go to my doc mentions, and this page. Then once it updates, I believe it will go to 1 there. And external links should be when we link out to other things. I just want those numbers to refresh. So I would expect this to update. And I think this is what it's referring to with external links. So I could be wrong there, but I'm expecting those numbers to update at some point. We can also have this option down the bottom here. I'm not actually sure what this is. So we've got options display on page, off, dialog. Okay, so it's up the top there, and accordion. Okay, so it's these kind of hover options. So once we start adding things, we can start choosing where we want this to exist. That's just some text there, but if I backspace, I can't get rid of this bit. This bit's being created by this setting. So it's where do we want our relationship options to display. So dialog's up the top, accordion's down the bottom, or off will not show it on the page at all. I think I like dialog best. Okay, and then same thing, you can also do that for the entire doc. Cool. Okay, templates. So this is where you're editing or interacting with your document templates. So I've got a whole bunch of documents templates I've got here. I might just delete all of this for now. Okay, and let's import a template. So let's say, okay, project management, I've got a couple there. Actually, these might be the ClickUp ones. So if we click on one of them, it's going to append it. So it's actually added extra pages rather than going to this page, which I think will be how just about all doc templates work. So we've now got those 2 pages. Cool. We can also go to our any page we have here and save it as a new template. So we can say this template is called hi, go through our regular saving process. We can also update an existing doc. We've got that hi one there. Now my hi document is somewhere in here. And I'm curious. Okay, so it appears at the top of all templates and also under workspace. So the workspace templates are your ones. Okay, that could probably be a little bit clearer, but anyway, it's fine. Then we've got comments. So if you highlight anything and go to the comment option there, this is this interface here particularly hasn't changed at all. And if we add a comment, it'll appear over on the right. Anyone, I haven't assigned it to anyone in particular. It was just assigned to anyone. So if we check it off, it'll disappear. There's also the filter for assigned to me and the resolve ones. So all the ones that have been checked off. Cool. Lastly, we've got export. These options existed before. They were just in a different place. So now now they're here. You can export to HTML, PDF, Markdown, either all pages or just this page, and also import as well. My preference is often HTML because HTML formatting can easily be pasted into a Word document or something. Most things understand, a lot of word processors understand HTML. Some understand Markdown, some don't. And PDFs can be pretty annoying to copy text out of. So even though HTML is a bit weird, it's like a website, it actually can be the most useful export. Okay, and then last one is settings. So just got your basic stuff that would have existed, like those 3 dots up the top right before where your settings were. So you rename, duplicate. Nothing here is particularly new. It's nice to be able to see who edited it last. Tags before, actually I don't think they existed. I think they were only in templates. So doc tags, I think that's new and pretty neat. So you can have your private ones, workspace, and workspace ones as well. So let's see how that works. Let's add a tag to this document. So let's say this is an SOP. So it's like a category tag. Okay, so it's showing us, so these options here are what tags can be added. So if I remove that one, we say, okay, that one it can be added and it's considered a workspace tag. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's try out if we have a doc that is not shared with anyone else. So it's a private doc, and let's add a new tag. You kind of expect it to be there, but let's try this out. Okay, so if you type into the search, it will allow you to save that tag anyway, and there's the private option. Okay, so that one is now a private tag. So that's kind of like a system for organizing my documents that no one else can see. So I can filter by, let's see if this is going to work. Nope. Okay, so we need to go to tags over here and choose which tags we want to filter by. I think you can also order them by the headings here. So I can order them by last updated and last viewed, those two specifically it looks like. This filter is only applying to tags. So this is showing my private tags, my workspace tags, or all tags, and ordering them. Okay. So we filter by name, we can go to our different sections, and we can sort by the columns, and then we can also filter by tags up here, and it's got this yeah, that's a little bit misleading. Okay, we've got a drop down here to filter the tags that we can apply, because I imagine this is going to become quite a long list once we add lots of tags, since they're all kind of shown side by side. Okay, and the view all button actually allows you to see them all vertically and search. I actually like that a lot better. I kind of prefer this all didn't exist. Anyway, that's fine. Cool. So overall, I like this a lot. This is a, docs needed a little bit of an update. This makes them more user-friendly. It feels really snappy. It's a little bit hard to describe in a video, but it feels snappy. I don't know. Test it out for yourself. See if you agree with me. But it feels like the engine behind it might be just running pretty quick at the moment. Otherwise, the main change is this easy formatting to kind of make your doc look how you want it really quickly. It's a couple of button clicks. We actually didn't go into the advanced. So on the page details, we've got the basic, formats, font size, default width. We've also got advanced, which just gives you a slider for font size. So more options. And you can also edit line height. It's not a huge range there, but enough to be reasonably useful, as well as paragraph spacing. Good enough. So if we go into advanced paragraph spacing, yeah, there we go. So every time we hit return or enter or line break. And page width, again, we can manually adjust that to, it looks like a particular range of widths there. And if we click back on one of our options in basic, it'll remove it from that, the custom value that we set in advanced. Okay, so if you use docs a lot, definitely need to have a look at the different details, make it look the way you want. Otherwise, changes that you need to pay attention to, most of these are aesthetic. Protecting, probably a big thing if you are on a Business Plus or Enterprise plan. I think that's all the changes that I've noticed so far. We'll see once the official documentation comes out if there's anything I've missed. Definitely make sure you check out page history. If you weren't aware that existed, that's really helpful. And if you are currently using a lot of docs, it might be good to set out a structure for your tags, like decide how you're going to use tags before they start getting messy, just that you have like a clear system of tags that your team can use. And that will probably be really helpful if you found it hard to organize docs before, which was a really common complaint. Before you go, I've got a thing that I'd like to offer you. So I've got a tool called the ClickUp Checkup. I've made it to help make it easy to make ClickUp smooth, run well, and well organized and clean. So it's basically, it's like if you take your car to the mechanic, they have a checklist they go through to make sure everything's running really well. It's that, but for ClickUp. So it's a 23-point check. It takes a little bit to set it up, a few minutes to set it up in the beginning, and then each time you run through, it's just a bunch of saved views, bunch of dashboards that you can go through pretty quickly. It'll help you highlight potential issues in your account, like tasks that are being forgotten about, or they're at risk of not getting done. It'll help you clear out all the junk, old tasks that are not mattering, things that are just getting in the way, and kind of the clutter. It's really easy to end up with tons of tasks in ClickUp that are just in the way people's way, and they're slowing people down. And they'll also help you keep your hierarchy and views and all that kind of stuff tight and functional, and not getting bloated and causing problems. So that is free. I'll put that link in the description below as well. And It's always a good question, why am I giving away things for free? The reason for that is that I have a course coming up. It is my in-depth ClickUp course. It'll take you from kind of basic feature knowledge, it's not from zero, it's basic feature knowledge, through to having a fully set up account in the way that a consultant would do it. So all of my things that I do to optimize ClickUp to make it not just work, but be really well suited to teams and to human psychology. There are things that you can do to set up ClickUp that make it either block productivity or encourage it. You know, if you've ever kind of opened up ClickUp and just been overwhelmed and kind of wanted to immediately close it again, yeah, that happens. We want to avoid that. There are ways of making it so that you want to encourage good feelings, that when you come in, you go, okay, I know what to do. I know I'm going to feel good when I get it done because my to-do list is going to be empty. It doesn't feel overwhelming. So there are ways to set up ClickUp to encourage that happening. And I always build them into my designs when I do when I design a ClickUp structure for someone. So all of that I'm starting to teach people because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be in this game for. And that course is coming out. So I'm giving away the ClickUp checkup now for free to get people on my email list so I can actually tell them about it when the course comes out. So workmanagement.tools/course, get the free ClickUp checkup for now, and then you'll also find out when that course comes out and have first dibs on it. If you sign up around when this video comes out, you may get the chance to join a pilot program, which will be discounted and have some extra goodies. If you sign up later on, no worries, you'll get access to the public offering of it. Cool, hope that's been helpful. Have a good one.